happiness is seeing and knowing the beauty in what you have. If you make happiness a holy grail, your search is futile, or it's ethereal and not meant to be obtained. It will stay just beyond your reach, hovering mockingly like some carnival toy to be won. Happiness is what we seek here today. Waiting is a battle for those who endure it. For those who pass by it of no consequence. There are really no signs or even concerns. Those who wait know the ticking clock it is, seemingly endless and sounding like a church bell, but sounding every second. Sometimes it sounds like it's on a distant hill, but sometimes you're sitting right in the front pew. Waiting is knowing and learning and growing. Waiting makes this day beautiful, profound, and certain as life can ever be. Waiting for a multitude of reasons, some of which, gratefully, no longer exist. Well, we are no longer waiting because the day is here. And the love that has buoyed the waiting is celebrated like so many have done and so many will do after. But today, we feel this love. It's palpable. It's here. The giant silken shawl falling gracefully over all our shoulders as we stand side by side to witness this union. We are as one with them in this moment. Life, in a sense, begins today. And life will begin to get in the way. Take this love you have, the love from your family and your friends, the love of a wedding day, and store it well, not on some back shelf or in some closet, but store it on the mantle of your heart above a roaring fire that casts its glow on it every moment of every day. Be selfless in your thoughts and your deeds. Live, love, and be happy with what you have, for it is beautiful.
Surreal that we are here in this moment, where we will soon be wives. We have talked about this day from the very beginning, planning out every detail and dreaming of our future together. I'm doing my very best to soak up every moment of today. When we met, I was so unsure of commitment. I feared love because I had only known of its inevitable heartbreak. You changed all of that for me. Throughout every situation we encountered, you always stayed. You always tried. You banished all of my doubts. We have spent the past 8 years growing up together, and without even knowing it, we were creating a foundation for a life together. This journey throughout life has challenged and celebrated us with moments of excitement, doubt, joy, unimaginable loss, pure happiness, and finding a small stray dog who now has become the center of our lives and rules our household. These moments have shaped our love, a love I am so proud of. I love you with every part of me. Sometimes when we're apart, I don't feel whole. Life is so much better when we're together. You are the kindest person I've ever met. You laugh at most of my jokes, and I really appreciate that, because it's usually when no one else does. You put others before yourself, and you are always the first to help. You have taught me how to love people for exactly who they are, and I thank you for loving me for exactly who I am. Your open mind and deep way of thinking has expanded my views of the world. You are honest, humble, and calm. Pretty much the exact opposite of me. You have created a place where I feel safe. As the years pass, I continue to love you more, and I honestly did not believe that existed. But it does, and it's right here. I stand in front of you and all our loved ones with absolute confidence in this decision to have you as my wife. I love saying that. To be your wife and become a family. My vows are no stranger to our relationship, but will ring true in our marriage. I vow to love you unconditionally through all the moments that life brings us. I will be the light in your darkest days, guiding you home. I vow to make you my #1 priority. I will gladly remind you how great you are and always give you my support. You and your feelings will always be most important to me. I vow to be patient, listen, and come from a place of understanding. I vow to always give you the last bite of food. I will always call to order pizza because I know you hate talking on the phone. And I'm also going to make a conscious effort of letting you pick more of the TV shows we watch. But most importantly, I vow to honor our marriage, and I will always try, and I will never give up. Home is no longer a place, it's a person. So whether we travel around the world or never leave this little town, you are more than I could have ever asked for, and I will love you for all the days.
When I was younger and just me, I felt a lot like it's really weird to be alive. And it was overwhelming to me to only have this one individual experience and feel like I could do anything with it. Thinking too deeply about this led me to doing a bunch of ridiculous things like hitchhiking hundreds of miles and also intentionally becoming homeless in New York City. I felt like I had to be different and do different things in order to live a meaningful life or to be someone. I think if myself from back then were to see me standing here today, I'd be like, what happened? Don't you remember all the cool things we were gonna do? But that's because back then I wouldn't have been able to understand what we're doing here and why we're doing it. I didn't know who I was back then, but today, right now, I know exactly who I am with you, and this, right now, is perfect. I've been thinking about all of the moments that have happened that have made us who we are. In this perfect moment, up to this point, everything we've experienced together seems to all be blended seamlessly and perfectly together. And life makes perfect sense, and we are perfect. Although I wish it was, and sometimes it feels nice to believe it is, I know that isn't reality. Life is difficult. Building and sustaining relationships is difficult, and neither of us are really perfect. We have arguments with each other, and with friends, and with family. We let people down. People let us down. Important people die, and families break up. We get sad, and we can forget what it felt like to be happy. We aren't always nice or understanding, and we can worry too much. We can be unorganized. We can get emotional. We can feel emotional and not know how to express it. We can be messy. We can be grumpy. And we can snore really loud. We love unconditionally. We allow each other to make mistakes. We fix mistakes. We're there for each other. We make adjustments for each other. Not any of us can be in such control of our lives that it or we can be perfect all the time, and it would be foolish to expect it to be. I want you to know how lucky I feel to be here, to be able to experience life as me with you. I vow to you that I will not expect you to be perfect, that I will love you unconditionally. I vow to you that you can depend on me, that I'll always be here for you through every obstacle we'll face in the future, no matter how difficult. I vow that I will always see you and understand you. I vow to you that this life, your life, my life, is ours, and that you'll never need to question that. And I promise that I will always feel deeply about being alive, and growing with you and creating this life will always give me purpose, and this is perfect enough. I love you.